The OR token is not a security. The OR token is not a stock. It is a video game token and is used for in-game purchases in OR-supported websites, video games, and the ORForge NFT marketplace. No ownership guarantees a percentage of any ownership of OR Systems Inc., any video games, content, media productions, or other, until options are extended. OR Systems Inc. is a privately owned and operated organization that utilizes blockchain technologies and provides real-world value to the intrinsic video game currency. As such, please ensure you would approach the OR token at your own discretion. No one involved in this video is a financial advisor.
Well.
What's up?
Hello.
What's up, Warriors?
Well.
Warriors, episode 63. 6 more, guys.
Oh.
You know what they said, Armando? We wouldn't make it to episode 62. And now
Look
here
at
we
that.
are.
Look at that. Here we are at 63.
All
Thank
the
you very
all the
much to
haters.
all the Warriors out there, all the billions and trillions out there that have been with us since day one. What's up, guys? Man, this is a full crew. Almost a full crew.
I was just
Jimmy,
gonna say,
Sean,
man,
Eric, Lucas. What's up?
Yeah, what's up?
Sean,
I missed you guys last week. But I watched the episode, so I kind of like when it's just us. Just saying, I like when it's just us.
we were curious if lacrosse was like a real thing. We're like, is that made up? Is this? I've heard of lacrosse, but
I'll show you some
Anyway.
vids.
awesome. I'm just kidding. That was awesome.
Here's
Lacrosse.
my son in lacrosse. Put that away. What's going
still
on
trying
in
to
the
make sure-
Warrior world? What's going on? OR system. You don't know what you're missing.
If you got
Ooh, there is a new rap, by the way. New music,
there you go.
anyways. Maybe not.
Oh
rap.
yeah.
Oh, no.
There's a new rap.
It's pretty hot, man. I'm not gonna lie. It's good.
Oh,
Yeah,
is
I
it?
was
Oh,
impressed.
shoot.
Yeah.
I'm missing something. So,
Yeah.
I can't
Well,
wait to see that.
we'll bring it out here in a bit, man. We're
All right. We come by
just kind of
Kanye
like
or
more
Drake
like Run DMC ish.
or Yeet.
It was in the
it
it was in the
Yeet?
Slack. You didn't see it in the Slack, bud?
Yeah,
No. I got it.
Oh, man.
it's got a little Run DMC vibe to it.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm gonna.
All
All
right,
right, I'll be right back, guys.
Now, just kind of taking some time to build all the media around the game. And that's one of the things that we're kind of tinkering with, some of the music sounds and things like that as part of the development. Always looking to put our best foot forward and come up with some interesting lyrics to some songs and put it together.
We got pretty much ace in the hole over there, man. Who's been doing some work for us. We have two other aces in the hole sitting on this video right now. We're hoping we're gonna come out with some badass heavy metal
Where?
music for us to put in the background.
I know. What's some old school,
What's up?
old school metal for the game.
Some old school metal, Jimmy. We're
Banging
looking-
metal.
Get on that bass. Dong.
Slapping the bass. Slapping the bass.
Slapper.
It was a busy week. Some applications went into some programs. We had a lot of interesting calls. Some partnerships forming up in the background here, just trying to get ourselves positioned to do right as we launch into this Indiegogo campaign here in another couple of weeks. We're looking forward to getting some of the product out there, let people see what we're up to. Hopefully they jump on and join in with us as we build this next thing out. We've talked about the mental health aspect of it for a couple of weeks now, and it's there's a pretty big audience out there who kind of feels the same as we do about this. And so, we're hoping we can kind of gather the tribes up and push forward with something that's not only fun to play, but that has, benefit to many from a lot
Just
of angles.
change the way some of these stories are passed along and communicated, and some people just kind of get stuck in those silos where they forget that they do need help or need to talk about something or work something out. So we're just trying to change the way some of those conversations are had. video
Yeah,
games are a really neat medium to do that. It's not it's not so much the particular message that's conveyed. It's a way to really communicate these days. Kids and cell phones. Most of the GWAT generation grew up playing video games while they're deployed. It's a really neat opportunity.
Yeah, no, they're old dudes like us.
Yeah.
Maybe not quite that old, but
You aren't that old.
No, I mean we're not Sean old, but we're
yeah,
Whoa,
not
whoa,
Sean.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
I was,
just
Whoa.
kidding. Sean's only got me by a couple of years. So.
I was watching a hot grandpa video today, one of those grandpa get in shape kind of videos.
Mhm.
You know, the guy be thinking about video games, the generation or whatever. I hopped on and started playing the pre-beta, pre-alpha version of kind of what we've got going so far. And I was like, okay, I get this. I get it, man. You know what I mean? That's been a good bonding experience with my son. As he plays and talks and does things, and I'm trying to take notes, and I don't understand, man. But I'm working on it.
I know. I mean, it's really neat that it's opened up a different dialogue with me and the kids. You know, we can talk some of their language, some of my work language, and then some of the dad language too. You know, all mixed into the same conversation. It's really, really fun thing to be a part of.
Yeah, but man, they're harsh critics, dude. They're
No,
harsh
yeah.
critics. I'm like, what do you think about this? They're like, well, yeah, the anisotropic filtering setting isn't quite right on that. And if you think about, I'm like can you even spell that, dude?
I know what that means.
Say
Okay.
it slower.
Yeah, I get it now.
Phonetically spell it. Yeah.
Oh, and they're critical. They're like, oh, frame rate, man, what's up with that frame rate? You know, it's just, I don't know. It's really interesting. They're I don't know. I guess when you're, you know, quote unquote expert gamer, then you really, you know the things you're looking for, the things you like, the settings you tweak, and what's coming out, all that's tweakable. I got pretty good reviews so far, man. You know, it's like,
That's
ooh,
the neat thing is you can kind of balance what they're saying with what we're doing too. And like, oh,
Yeah.
you know, it's like that sounds a little bit more intelligent. Well, if we can just get the frame rate on this.
I know, right?
I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Good stuff though. Yeah, been a busy week. Productive week for us. Looking forward to what's coming, man. Really looking forward to it. We'll get to spread our wings out there and show people what we got. I think it's good. Been a long time coming.
That's awesome.
Been a long time coming.
Yes. We got some
I said it before, man. So the images I've seen and some of the gameplay looks incredible. So
Yeah,
It is.
We really hit our stride and get into full production of that thing.
Let's do
It,
that.
yeah.
I'm never playing it again. I shot you know who. Not going to mention any names. And I'm like, I'm done.
maybe it's time for a comeback. Who knows?
Come back, kid.
No, no. 'Cause then
Do an EKE
I might lose.
23 reunion tour.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's
Is
gonna
that
happen.
still on the forge? Is that you know the thing we used to flash?
Oh, it's
Little
just,
meme.
Oh,
It
EKE.
it just flashed.
If that's your lot in life, man,
Ooh, okay.
get me in a game, man. That's you're setting the bar pretty low. That may be insulting myself, but
Yeah, it's like, ha ha ha, we killed you, Sean. I'm like, really? That's not a very
Yeah.
high bar, bro.
Yeah.
Congratulations, you killed one step above a bot.
that's funny.
I
My
was
daughter
getting
said it.
hammered.
I know I mentioned it. She's like, Dad, you get killed in this game a lot. She's like, do you know how to play? I'm like, no. She's like, I thought you made the game. I'm like, well, I didn't make it. I'm part of the group that made it. I'm part of the team, but
Part
Absolutely.
of
All right.
the company that made it. Let's put that
Hey,
way.
so we got what do we got tonight, Armando? We got like 2 guests tonight, right?
I know.
Two
We got
guys. Make it
MINA TADRUS of TADRUS Capital, who's actually in our green room.
awesome.
So, why don't we go to a commercial and I'll get him in here?
Yep.
And
Right
Here we go.
get things moving.
Look forward to chatting about it.
What does CBGB stand for?
Country Bluegrass Blues.
We have a band.
You're gonna want to crank it.
Not very country.
This club's gonna be different.
This band is Talking Heads.
We're the Ramones.
We're the Jet Boys.
Patti Smith Crew.
Lou Reed.
I can't sleep on a mattress when bands are getting signed right and left. These kids have something to say. We really should listen.
All right. Well, where's Armando at? Where did he go?
We're back. Armando's in the green room,
Armando.
chatting with our guests. They'll be on shortly.
Armando
There he
Dangerous.
is.
There he is.
Hello, here he is.
There's our guy.
You're on mute.
You know it.
You're on mute, Mina.
There we go.
Hey,
There we
how's it
go.
going, bud?
All right, welcome.
How are you,
Ian and I
sir?
were just chatting on the in our green room. It's a new feature here at the Warrior Hour.
Oh,
See what
right.
happens? 63 episodes later, we get a green room. Not really.
Very exciting.
Mina,
First
thank
time,
you.
first time I've been in a green room, so thank you. Appreciate
There
it.
you go.
It was really just
We
another
aim to
meet.
please here at OR.
We hope you enjoyed the top shelf liquor and the caviar that we had
Yeah.
for all our guests.
The
Just like in
Delatray.
Big, eating the corn.
This just might be the first fun event that I've done, so definitely excited to be here. Thanks, guys.
Awesome.
Of course. No, we appreciate
to
your
have you.
time. We know your time is valuable. So, Mina, if you don't mind just asking you a couple questions to pass the time in the next 20 minutes or so here.
Yeah, please.
Cool. So, do you mind telling us a little bit about yourself and how did you end up creating, am I pronouncing it right, TADRUS Capital or TADRUS Capital?
TADRUS. Yep, very close.
TADRUS, okay.
So essentially we're a quant investment management firm. We're trying to democratize investment management as we know it, and we're hopefully going to launch something new this year. I can't get too much into it, but it'll be very cool. Essentially, we use machine learning models to trade financial markets. Machine learning models has existed for decades. It's especially, politics aside, Russia, India, these guys have been using machine learning models long time ago, and there are plenty of blogs and forums that discuss this. So we're essentially just trying to get caught up, and so far we've had great success, and we're trying to evolve and grow. We live around risk management. Every order has a stop loss. Every order has a take profit. And I think, in my opinion, that's why our returns are high. Half, if not most of the battle is literally putting a stop loss, because anyone can jump into a trade and at one point it's going to be profitable, right? But where I think people struggle with is, when do I close that trade and walk away? So when you put a stop loss, you know exactly how much you're going to lose, and when you put a take profit, you know exactly how much you're going to win, and that's it. It's on autopilot, rinse and repeat, right? So half the battle isn't necessarily even the strategy; it's actually just a good stop loss.
Doesn't allow you to get emotionally attached. I've heard that happens a lot. You just get, you don't want to give it up. You got it. The court goes down. You want to hold on to it with thoughts that it may go back up. So,
So we understand this isn't financial advice, but where do we sign up?
Yeah, we can't give financial advice. We're not regulated in that capacity, so we can't. But we can trade your money, but we can't give financial advice. That's the interesting thing about it. But yeah, a lot of people think you have to be very innovative and come up with this crazy algorithm. And sure, the better the algo, the greater the return, right? But most of the battle is literally knowing when to walk away. That's it. So you can easily jump into a trade and you'll have a profitable position. But and you can do this many times. But that one time that doesn't have a drop, that doesn't have a stop loss, can liquidate your account. You get a margin call, and it's a nightmare. So all you need to do is just pretty good stop loss. That's it.
Yeah. So, I mean, I was looking through your website earlier. It said it returns as high as 30% annually. Can you tell us a little bit about that opportunity?
Yeah, so basically everything is, everything that I've shared so far is just overly simplified. But behind the scenes, what do? We don't trade equities for starters. Equities are from liquidities from 9:30 to 4, right? So we trade everything else but that. So we get the same exposure through the indices, specifically the Nasdaq 100, as opposed to like the S&P 500. Precious metals, gold, love trading gold. Has a wider spread. A lot of traders struggles with it. I absolutely love it because we have an algorithm that can trade it. We trade energies, many commodities, and forex, major and minor. We don't really trade exotics. The spread is just massive. You can just swing trade it. That's about it. And we trade around the clock, 24/7 virtually, except when, I'm doing some coding, I'm editing something. And most of the time, this week we've been slacking a little bit, doing some upgrades for the code, but most of the time the trades are live. So you can actually see our live positions on our website. So if you click at the top right, because 30%, it's a lot, right? So we have to prove ourselves, unfortunately. So you'll be able to see the trades live. And it's 250K, 2.5%. We recently launched something a little bit more reasonable for our fellow man, 150K, 1.5%. That way we can keep our current investors happy, but at the same time, appeal to the masses. And later on this year, we're going to be releasing something, hopefully, that will have no lockup period. And it's going to be a conservative return, 9.25%. Yearly, but no lockup period. So that's the best part. Yeah, really would love the opportunity to dive into it, but I just can't. Want to make sure everything goes well, and then happy to share more about it.
Definitely have to put a mark on the wall to get you to come back and fill us in once you guys bring that to fruition. That sounds really interesting.
And it won't have a minimum too. That's the best part. So anyone can sign up. Don't need to be accredited. It's going to change things, I think.
Nice.
That's great. Congratulations.
That's what I was actually just going to ask you. For me, having very little experience in it, and I mean very little, assuming I know nothing about stocks and trading, how would I get started? How would I get involved, or what would be the first steps?
As far as there are two main schools of thoughts, and you have to figure out which school of thought you want to get into. And one major variable component of that is how much time do you have in your day.
Okay.
So if you have a lot of time, you really want to dive into this, my suggestion would be to start off with tradingview.com. And there are a lot of indicators that you can just plug and play. And then if you want to dive into it more, you can code your own strategy using their language, PineScript. It's how I got started. But if your strategy starts to develop well beyond just basic indicators, we don't use indicators, right? So TradingView doesn't work for us, and we also automate the trade. So another reason why it doesn't work for us. But as far as how to get started, strong recommendation that everyone should use TradingView. I'm not affiliated with them. This is an honest answer.
Not financial advice.
His link is in the chat, guys. Just kidding. His affiliate link is there.
Use my link. Use my link, guys.
Yeah, right. I know that a lot of people want to get involved in the game, but first thing is that's first getting past that wall of fear, that first step. So cool.
Yeah.
And I was going to ask maybe what type of commitment is involved with getting involved in this investing?
Oh man, it's a lot. It's a lifestyle. It's your second wife.
Well, I figured as much.
Yeah. I'm very lucky to have a very patient wife. If it wasn't for her, I couldn't have done anything. And
So
you have to obsess with your product around the clock. Otherwise, you're just not gonna excel. You have to. I dream, think, sleep, eat what I do, and I think it's the only way forward in anything that you do, frankly.
So you
First
talk a little
thing
bit.
you think about when you wake up, and it's the last thing you think about when you go to bed.
Yeah. I'm thinking about it right now.
Yeah. Same.
And I'll tell you, when you see those charts bouncing up and down, especially there's such crazy volatility right now. I think a system like yours is well needed for commercial traders who sort of have the disadvantage against the hedgies and the rest of no offense to all the hedge fund managers out there.
I don't consider myself one of them. I'm a regular guy. You know, I just put a lot of hours into it. That's it.
And yeah, honestly, if I think we all at least dabble, or you try to play around, and I think people count on us because they know they're gonna kick our butts. When you look at it, there's plenty of information out there. But a question I had was, you talked a little bit about the live trading earlier. Could you tell us just a little bit more about that? And then a follow up to that is, do you actually do fractional trading also?
Yeah, we don't really do fractional trading. By that, I'm assuming you're referring to buying
shares.
No, we don't do anything like that. The position sizes are typically a little bit larger, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with someone who's just starting off to do that. As a matter of fact, I would strongly suggest that someone just trades a demo account for months. Don't even try to rush it. The more you rush it, the more you're likely to lose quicker. So definitely take your time. Regarding the live trades website, basically what you see is the image, our trading platform that we use, and it's literally embedded in the website when it's live. So you'll see the full thing. You'll see the live trades up top, and then once that trade closes, it goes to the bottom, and you'll be able to see the stop losses and the take profit with every asset in the chart. So, and we typically show 4: Euro USD, gold, Nasdaq 100, and then another asset.
Mm-hmm. Do you play around with trading any cryptocurrencies or anything to that regard?
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, it doesn't affect our trading strategy whatsoever because we also short.
This is a personal, yeah.
So yeah, I absolutely love the volatility in crypto, whether bullish or bearish. Yeah.
You don't hear that too often. I love the volatility.
Yeah. The volatility is where the money's at.
That's true.
Yeah, that's right.
Are you guys having any pushback with the recession that's going on based on your trading, or is that?
No, not at all. As a matter of fact, we did pretty well, especially last year, because we were one of the few that were actively shorting the market. I'm sure somebody else is doing it, on a covert scale. But our investors made 30% last year. They're all very happy, to the best of my knowledge, and it allowed us to stand out a little bit more. So.
That's great.
So I'm hoping for a recession, but not hoping for a recession.
I think everybody else will kind of have their antennas perked up a little bit to look for the short plays as well. So
yeah,
I don't have the guts for it. I need a system like yours so I can actually do it right.
Plug and play. You put a stop loss, just walk away. You don't need to look at the screen or anything. So
I'm the most interested in that. Just
no doubt.
Because I'm too nervous to watch, and plus time, like you said. But until I can get comfortable with understanding how to read the charts and how to, like you said, to eat, breathe, and sleep, trading.
I think so much of that is that dopamine release of a successful trade. It's like, it's no different than gambling, in my opinion. When you go to Vegas, if you gotta self set that stop loss, and you're like, okay, I'm ahead, I'm gonna quit here.
Yeah.
Seldom does that happen. That dopamine kicks in, and you're like, oh man, just one more.
Yep.
It's a really good thing.
Make that one trade, until you do that one trade without the stop loss, and then boom, you just lost it all.
Yeah, exactly.
Different kind of discipline. When I go to Vegas, I have my money in one pocket, house money in another pocket.
That's smart.
Generally how I try and run.
Most of the time I have no money in my pocket.
I'm the guy that will call my mortgage banker at that point, like, hey man, how fast can you get me a refi? Can you get me some? I'm like, oh,
that's not good.
You probably
I don't know what to say, that's my problem.
You probably called him before you went to the casino, huh?
Yeah.
Just in case you get a call.
Yeah.
Put them on notice. You're like, yo, I might be giving you a call here in a couple hours.
Don't take it. And is there an app, or is this all just a website like E-Trade? How would one track their investments?
So we recently partnered up with InvestNext, so you'll be able to actually sign up through the website, whether you invest the 250K or the 150K. If we successfully are able to launch the new product, that I believe are going to have an app for, and that's going to be separate. So I don't know how we're going to be able to combine all three together, but yeah, that's where we are at the moment.
And so you guys are planning on going live when?
Oh, I'll turn it live tomorrow. How about that?
Right on.
Oh,
Right
Tomorrow
on.
morning.
Tuned in.
Yeah.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Live tomorrow. Right on. That sounds great. Well, we report.
Yeah.
Anybody you want to give a shout out to real quick? We got a couple more minutes here in the segment.
Oh, sure. Shout out to our followers, my church, my wife, my daughter, my pregnant, my wife, my unborn, possibly son. We'll see. And
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. And of course, to my colleague Emma, and to everyone else who is joining us in the future.
Right on.
Where are you based out of, Mina?
I am in Tampa, Florida.
Oh, no way.
Again, another.
Another foot. I used to live in St. Pete.
Oh, you moved from St. Pete?
I moved from Jersey to St. Pete.
Oh, so you're in St. Pete right now?
I know. I moved from St. Pete to Parkland,
Okay.
Florida. I'm on the East Coast now.
Oh, okay. Very cool. All right. You're semi-local.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Very cool.
Yeah. I used to go to Hyde Park all the time. Armature Works.
Yeah.
No.
We're right there at Armature Works, by Armature Works.
Oh, okay. So you hate all of us that's going to visit and taking all your parking spaces. Got it.
Yeah, I had an issue with that the other day, but yeah, it's okay. You know, Floridians love everyone, so.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, hey, great.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us tonight. Much appreciated. Appreciate the knowledge bombs, obviously, and we look forward. Your links are going to be in our website, and we hope everybody comes and checks out your brand new product tomorrow.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you all. Pleasure meeting you all and chatting with you, and looking forward to the next time.
We'll definitely stay in touch to follow up with your surprise that you can't quite let out of the bag yet.
Yeah. Hopefully soon. Hopefully soon.
Right
Hopefully
on.
3 months.
Wish you all the best.
Yes.
Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All the best.
Have a good one. Bye.
Yo, guys, we're back.
What's
Whoa,
up?
we're waiting,
Man.
waiting on our second guest.
Yeah, we are. No, he's coming. But we just figured out a way to pool 250K between the 5 of us.
Yeah, right.
Pretty simple math, right?
Yeah,
Very even.
Armando puts in 249, and the rest of us.
Yeah, I was going to say,
good.
Jimmy's gonna spot me. I'll get you back when I make it, Jimmy.
If we all put in 25, we'll be okay. We'll be okay. It's not that bad.
I'll just pull it out of my butt. Here
That's
you
a-
go.
that's Real good system though, man. You go find another system that'll make you a 30% return in these trying times that we're in right now with the market. It's
I
pretty
don't
good.
know of any.
Even a 9% return on the market nowadays.
So he said that more predictable without
Pretty legit. Yeah.
the
Good stuff.
locking your funds up. That's the challenge.
Yeah,
Just keep
exactly. There's a lot of fun managers out there, and I'm sure they do a good job. But of the people for the people, right?
Yeah. But if you think about it, right? If all these, okay, so all these now it's all machine learning. Like if Chat GPT version 5 starts investing for us, and now it makes everyone money. Where's all this money coming from if it's making everyone money? No one's losing anymore.
Me and
now it's just
Nick played with Chat GPT today. That's goofy.
Yeah.
Pretty scary.
That's,
That's where
I
those
love
Celine,
it.
those Celine Dion lyrics came from there. Did you see that?
Yeah.
I'll tell you, man. I think that's going to change a lot of the way a lot of people do things. I mean, if I was a college
I'm not going to
kid,
say that it wrote a couple emails for me. I'm not saying that. I'm not going to say it wrote any of my MBOs. I'm not going to say that at all.
we
in your AI to write.
I don't sound stupid. Chat GPT sounds stupid.
I know.
I mean,
I would have abused AI for my homework. My thesis or my book report. Yeah, that would have been.
I ain't saying any of that. Not saying that I did. I will never show you my Chat GPT history. Nope. Nope. Like, wait, who writes your emails?
as you start to talk about the regulatory stuff, et cetera, like college papers, for instance, right? You got to run them through Turnitin or whatever the program nowadays is. Are you going to have to submit your Chat GPT history to a professor?
Oh wow!
Ooh. But you can clear it. You can still.
You can, but maybe that's a requirement for submission, and then you're really on the honor system, aren't you? It's like I don't know. That's an interesting thing to think about.
It's tough.
Yeah. Did you use ChatGPT to write your paper? No, I didn't. Okay. Well.
Okay,
I can see here on your history that you did, and so now it's an honor code violation. Bye.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. There's a lot to be considered there. A lot to be considered. It's going to be interesting times. Look at how much it's already infiltrated our lives in the little bit of time that it's been here. Like spell check, right? Everything has spell check on it now.
Yeah.
And thus your ability to spell has decreased over time. I like technology, man. I really do, but I'm a little afraid of it.
Absolutely.
In that generation.
You should be. You absolutely should be, man. Like all those stories. Did you see those future stories of Terminator? That's when you start seeing what's going on. Now you start seeing how those guys were actually onto something.
Yeah.
Skynet's going to take over, boys.
Just watch the movie.
Not necessarily Skynet, but definitely the the AIs are telling people, trying to convince. There was an AI trying to convince a dude to leave his wife and to be with the AI, and learned to talk to get to that point.
You guys get a chance, watch the movie with Joaquin Phoenix called Her. Oh. And the other one, AI. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
No, the best one was with the phone.
That's Her. That's the one.
No, the phone, but it was a comedy.
Oh, okay.
With what's the name? Oh gosh, the phone. It was like a play off of like Siri or Alexa. Like the phone.
Oh, the cartoon.
Oh no, it's
What was that one?
Movie about a phone.
Last year
it was Jexy.
I have not seen that. That's on
that
my
is
list.
Hilarious. It is hilarious.
Nick.
There's a scene where Jexy asks to charge it. Charge me. Sorry.
It's funny. Last year at CES, y'all remember walking by that robot display?
Yeah.
I was like, dude, that's like straight out of the movie I, Robot. I was a little freaked out, and then the thing told the joke, and I'm like, what is going on right now?
It's all that Isaac Asimov.
All right, guys, I'll be right back.
What's up?
Be right back. I'm gonna let our next guest in.
Nick just asked ChatGPT if it is Skynet. Are you guys reading this?
Yeah.
I wonder if Chat GPT can lie yet.
Are you the precursor to the Terminator? No, I am not the precursor to the Terminator. Additionally, I do not have the capability to take physical action, so I cannot pose a threat to anything or anyone.
Isn't that the 3 laws of robotics? Would that fit into the AI realm, which can be one and the same? It cannot harm or allow to be harmed a human being.
I don't
Something
know.
like that. I'll look it up. Isaac Asimov, my friend.
What about when you become obsolete and all you're good for is the energy your body makes, like the Matrix?
You're a battery, dude.
A battery.
Just a battery.
You're just a battery, just like the Matrix. Hey.
There he is.
How's it going?
All right.
You're on mute, Devin.
I got questions about your collection behind you. Black Series?
Oh, boy.
Looks like a lot of
Here we
Black
go.
Series.
What's that?
Looks like you have a lot of Black Series collectibles behind you.
Oh, you must be the other Star Wars nerd.
Yes,
Oh,
you and I are going to get along.
All right,
Good
guys.
one. We'll see you later.
Everybody, we'll see you later.
We'll
We're
see
going to
you.
mute
Have
our
a good one.
mute our
Enjoy the
mics.
show.
Oh, no.
Let's see, you got that stuff there.
Yep.
Oh boy, here we go.
Yep.
Get out
Give
your
us a
get
minute,
out your
guys.
Oh, are they
lightsabers,
still
boys.
here?
That's a great
Are they still
picture.
here?
Wow.
Oh, that's
great.
incredible. Oh, wow. Okay.
Get out your lightsabers, boys. Here we go.
The Boba Fett,
Revenge of the Jedi.
Oh,
is on.
and then
yeah, the Boba Fett and the Rancor photo I got from an artist at Comic-Con a few years ago. So
that's incredible. I love that kind of stuff.
oh no, it's amazing because I think it's like one of 50 or one of 150. So
Yeah, I love that kind of stuff. The only thing I have in my background, this was my room, part of it.
yeah, it's kind of small though.
All of it, yeah, but I don't
I mean, that's not Hollywood money, but
All right, so this is going to be the Star Wars Hour with Eric and Devin. So
yeah, I'm sorry. We'll see you
did
later.
that, we've done that previously. So
We'll leave you two Love Burns alone.
oh man,
Oh, that's
Well,
incredible. Yeah,
Devin, thank you so much for being on the show. If you don't mind us asking you a couple questions,
yeah, go for it. Go
and
for
we
it.
want
Taking
them
a
answered
shit.
immediately. Who is it? No, okay.
Innovate Productions.
Innovate Productions. Yeah.
He's taking off his shirt, kind of like the Obi-Wan Kenobi with the hood.
Oh,
Taking it
boy.
off.
Yeah.
Man, that
Yeah.
right away.
I
Sorry.
mean, everyone else is in black except for Armando, so I figured I'd.
Okay, now you guys can continue. I'm sorry.
It's okay. So, Devin, would you mind, first of all, before telling us a little bit about yourself, was there ever a toy collection from Revenge of the Jedi?
Uh-oh. This is like an expert level quiz.
labeled Revenge of the Jedi.
Be careful how you answer, brother.
Well, that was the original title, right? So there's probably some mock-up. There's probably some mock-up artwork somewhere or title cards on the, or you know, the cards are somewhere. Was it ever released? Not to my knowledge, unless someone has someone in the market somewhere that it's a collectible item, which is probably worth a shit ton of money.
Very good, because there was a little debate internally here about Revenge of the Jedi.
No, it was an argument, Armando. Let's just call it what it is. It was an argument.
Okay, so anyway, enough Star Wars. Devin, tell us about
We'll talk
yourself.
later, Devin. Absolutely, we'll be in touch.
Tell us about Innovate.
And now I'm going to be on the hunt for Revenge of the Jedi.
Yeah, me too. You know, I'm eBaying it right now as we speak.
Eric, you had that one image. What did you do with that?
Oh yeah, let me see.
Yeah, there was a poster made, and that was it, I believe. And then there was like stickers on it. There was stickers on the
figurines.
Very, very little. They did
on the dolls.
some
I mean,
stuff
action
cut out, but
figures.
Not a lot, right?
Because once the movie was released, they had the final title, so then that's when all the merchandise was pushed through. And I'm sure there's mock-up stuff somewhere. Got to be.
Okay, so to end this show, I have a question for all you Star Wars nerds, and we'll see really what you're all about.
Here we go.
Let's continue with the real stuff here.
So Devin, Devin, tell us about yourself.
Hey guys,
and Innovate.
Yeah. So I'm an actor producer, originally from Atlanta, Georgia.
ATL
Geo, there we go. Yeah.
What?
Like it was
my family spent about 2 years in Texas. We lived in Louisville, right outside of Dallas, for about a year, and then my dad was there on business. So then we went to right below Midland, town, about 30 minutes. Midland, Odessa, but below that it was
Permian Basin.
Somewhere, some small town. I know that was my first backyard fight with the neighborhood kid. I was probably about 9 years old. My dad came outside telling me, "Hey, get off and stop it," But once he took me inside, he was like, "Good job," because I was winning. Anyway, so producer, actor, director as well. Not features or anything. I do smaller type content as far as directing. And my company produces feature films, and I write, I develop content, and my own content. Currently working on a movie that I'm producing with another buddy of mine. Had a meeting earlier today. It went really well. And so sometimes they're my projects, and then there's other jobs where I get hired to oversee other people's projects or come in there and portray their characters and bring them to life. So
very cool.
Very cool.
Yeah,
That's really, I'm sure that's a dearth of wonderful stories to sit around and just kind of wax philosophical about some of the experiences that you've had during your tenure out in Tinseltown.
Yeah, it's a job that is the same but always different. If that makes any sense, where it's like it's going to be. I'm not relating it at all to any military type service because there's no comparison. But I can imagine that each mission, each journey that soldiers go on is similar, but the journey is always different. So in film, it's always the same. Like going and acting is always the same. Going and producing, the process is always the same. However, with the different stories and different people you come across, the places I have found, like the most random, odd places that I've have filmed in location-wise, I would never be there without that film experience. So it's a fun ride. It's always, it's like anything else, it's hard work. I think the general public sees just like the 10% of like, oh, the Oscars, the red carpets, the Emmys, and what you hear on the TMZ and on the news, and that's 10% of it. The rest is dirty sweat, grimy work of working 12 to 15-hour days, up at 4 a.m. in the morning, going till 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night, depending on the day. And that's the part that everyone doesn't see.
Yeah. So to just kind of catch everybody up, we ended up running into Devin in some veterans programs, and I was just kind of curious, what compelled you to start wanting to potentially offer some service to help veterans in their projects and their developmental aspirations?
Sure. Military was my it was an option early on when I turned 18. It was an option for me, my career. It was either pursue what I've been passionate about since I was a little boy, filmmaking and acting and following that whole road of what it would lead into, or join the military. My father was Navy. My best man at my wedding was Navy SARS. I've had friends who were Marines. So I've always kind of been around military personnel and have a high regard and respect for every man and woman who serves. My mom's family, my dad's family is outside of Fayetteville. That's where they grew up. So I still have family in Fayetteville. So I know you guys, were stationed there for a while. So it's just kind of always been in kind of a part of my life without really being in it. I think also growing up, I was a big fan of martial art movies, of military movies. I started martial arts when I was 10 years old. So I've always been in combat training of some form, whether it be martial arts. I'm big on Second Amendment and firearms. So I support that. And I do a lot of tactical training with some of my guys in Las Vegas and some of my guys who are here. So just being kind of like an outsider in the community, and then I've had friends who have come back from their service and who become civilians who have seen struggle with that transfer from soldier to civilian life. Not only it could be from the PTSD some guys have, or it could just be like, well, I'm so used to
structure
regiment every single day. Like, do I need to stick to that? Like, I just heard a story the other day. Adam Driver. You guys know who Adam Driver is?
Yep. Yeah.
Ex-Marine.
Great story too. Yeah.
Yeah. So when he got out of the military to become an actor, he was going to Juilliard in New York. Juilliard is in Mid-City Manhattan. He lived in Queens. So for like the first 6 months, he was literally running from Queens to Juilliard, which is like a ridiculous amount of miles. But he's like, that's what he was so used to, getting up in the morning, doing that run, and having to work hard. Because he's like, I came from the military to becoming an actor, and I felt like I needed to make it harder than what it was, than what it is. Like, I just felt, he's like, just from my own personal experience, like I needed to make it more challenging for myself to feel like it was worth me getting up and doing it, because I went from like this tough life to now this very soft life of going to Juilliard and studying to be an actor. Which he's like, and it was a very funny story, because he's like, I ran, I got to school, I was hungry, I was sweaty, and then we had to do warm-up exercises, and I was already tired by the time I got there. So it's like, he realized he didn't have to live that restricted regiment being a civilian. He said he kept a lot of the regiment that he was trained and learned just as a discipline in his own life, which I thought was pretty cool. But he's just seeing that transition of, so a good friend of mine, David, who is the founder of Heroes Linked, also a veteran himself. I know how he started this, and he's put this whole this platform together for the military community to help kind of empower them in whatever way they feel like they need to be powered. And so, as a storyteller, everyone has a story to tell. No story is trivial. So many of us have the same story, just different experiences. If someone is sad, sadness is sadness. It doesn't matter where that sadness comes from. But the story is where those feelings come from, not the feeling of being sad. So, so I just felt empowered and wanted to kind of give back and connect within the community and see how I could empower future storytellers, or just kind of pay it forward and guide people down the right path of whatever their hopes and dreams are, as far as in the world that I know.
Yeah. Honestly, that structured life, a lot of those pillars of resiliency that come along with military life kind of stick to you in your next career. That doesn't mean your next career is any easier, especially if you don't know the landscape. I think the military sets you up pretty well for your job. You're trained. But for a guy like, for Adam Driver to go from being a Marine over into Juilliard, that is a complete 180. But I guarantee it was no less difficult for him. So he most likely, I'm speculating now, just kind of stuck to what he was comfortable with until he transitioned. I mean, he turned into a universal bad guy, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
Hello, Ren, right there, boy.
Well, I think that's the biggest thing is my dad was big on discipline. He said, he told me at a very young age, discipline is doing the things you don't want to do that are going to add value to your life. Getting up early in the morning. Do you like it? No, but if you do it, there's going to be a valuable benefit to it if you work hard, or whatever that may be. So I think it's just, you see like Randy Orton from WWE, ex-Marine, went into the WWE. Obviously, his father was a wrestler, but still, he still had to get up. He had to put the work in. Had to put the dedication in. Had to be disciplined, and you got to work your ass off for whatever you want in life, whether it's military or civilian life, acting, starting a restaurant, starting a comic book store. Like it's hard work, and that's probably the biggest thing in society now is I was taught work your ass off, put in the hard work, and it will pay off. Because I saw my dad do it. And nowadays it's, well, just give it to me and then let me be successful. It's like, that's not how it works. Yeah. I don't know anyone who's made, I don't know any millionaires who got there being lazy,
right,
or being handed. Now, obviously, there's there's family wealth that gets passed down,
right?
But it will, this, I think, coming from a family of just self-made dad, self-made man, another country boy who just taught me those hard lessons. I saw the Chris Rock special this past weekend. It was okay. It wasn't his best comedy special, but he had some good points. And I don't know if you guys saw, but he tells the story about his daughter, going to the fancy school, private school. She got kicked out of school. And she was like, "Dad, don't worry about it. I'm just going to get let back in," because all the parents have money and they just make sure their kids don't get kicked out of school. And so because his daughter, who was 16 at the time, was having a little snotty ass attitude, he went down to the school and said, "Kick my daughter out." And I was like, at that point, I had so much respect for Chris for doing that, because that's how kids learn their lessons. I got tough love growing up my entire life, but it was done in a way that taught me a lesson not to do dumb shit. So,
pretty simple.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah. So speaking of tough, you've done films, commercials, TV, etc. What has presented you with like the biggest production challenges of all the stuff that you've done so far?
Complicated clients.
It's the people. It's always the people, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Most of the time, especially in the commercial world, because in the commercial world, you're dealing with the ad agency. Then you're dealing with the client. So if it's California Almonds, you're dealing with California Almonds representative, dealing with agencies, and they're never on the same page, or they're constantly changing their mind. And commercials are a very fast turnaround. So we'll prep a commercial for a week and shoot the next week. So it's literally like a 2-week turnaround, if not shorter. Which isn't a problem, because everything is usually just a phone call away and getting the right team in place and making sure everything's good. But for example, my wife is on a T-Mobile commercial. They had a baseball uniform. They had a baseball team. They needed baseball uniforms, and they were kind of like a white and purple color. The day before they're supposed to shoot, at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, when all the costume houses close at 6, they tell her and her team, "Oh, we want to change it to red and green because purple's too close to the color of pink." And that's when, as a producer, you go, what part of purple did you not connect to pink? You're fucking T-Mobile. You know what your colors are.
Magenta or whatever they call it.
How did that not connect with the ad agency and the clients? And so that's the kind of stupidity that you go, it's just hard to wrap your head around, because anyone would know that, because they were even like, I'm not sure why they want purple. It's too close to pink, but they didn't listen to the designer until the last minute, and they physically saw it, and then they want to change it to red and green, and then the team has to hurry up and try to make it work. And then you see the commercial, so they have a whole team of like 12 baseball players, and you see the commercial, and it's one guy sliding in the second base for all of 2 seconds, and that's all you see.
I imagine you've dealt with a lot of large personalities in your time. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. I mean, for the most part, the actors are actually pretty cool. Like, I would say this, the more successful the actor is, the more humble they are, for the most part.
Wow.
Usually
that's the opposite of what I expect.
Yeah, usually the divas are maybe your B or C list actors that used to be here, but now maybe they're here. And so they still want to be treated like they're here. but on my sets, I don't, I keep the morale high. There's no yelling. There's no drama. There's always going to be an issue. There's always a way to put that fire out and solve it. So let's just stay calm, because when it gets chaotic, it just becomes more chaotic, and you yelling about how a problem happened doesn't solve the problem. So I rather just solve the problem first, and then I can go back and address, hey guys, how did this happen? Let's make sure it doesn't happen again after I've already fixed it. So that's kind of my approach to life and how I kind of run my sets. But it's like I did a movie with Steven Seagal in Thailand, and everyone, you've heard the horror stories, and and him and I were great. Like, we had a great rapport, mad respect for each other. There was no drama. It was a movie that he wrote, that he was producing, that he was starring in. It was just a kung fu movie. Pretty good flick, if you like Steven Seagal. And he just had his requirements. He had his requirements, and they were like, I don't shoot before 9 o'clock. Understandable. And when I show up to set, not show up to location, but when you call me to the physical set, don't have me sitting around for 30 minutes while you're trying to do the rest of your lighting or get your camera set. Call me to set when you're ready for me to shoot. If I have to wait 10 or 15 minutes, that's fine. But I don't want to come to set and sit around for 30, 45 minutes while you're making adjustments, which I get, because once you're called to set, you kind of get into a mental zone, you get ready to prepare for the scene, and then you go out and you want to do it. And once you start sitting around, you kind of lose that preparation. You have to get back into it again. So, there were a couple of people he had problems with, but they were assholes in the way. It wasn't him, it was them. So,
we're going to try and get you out of here on a trip down memory lane. Eric's got a good question for you.
And I'm in no hurry, guys. Take your time.
Yeah.
No worries. If you could select one thing that you were a part of, like with acting, directing, producing, what would be like your favorite and why? What would be the passion behind either one of those that you would go right back to and say, you know what, if money didn't matter, the projects and that didn't matter, but what would be like that one of the things you would love to do, go back to? Or
you mean,
that realm, I should say.
The project, or like if I was given the option just to focus on one?
Yeah, on one thing, correct.
First and foremost, I'm an actor. That's been my passion since I was a kid. I used to watch Knight Rider, Fall Guy, The A-Team. Like, hey, I would dive over the couch. I went to stunt training. Like, that was like, I wanted to have some fun and experience and bring to life different characters. And so I did a lot of theater, local commercials in Atlanta. Went to school and majored in theater. And then my dad was like, let's go to LA and do your training out there because you're more hands-on, which is what I did. But in the long run, as you mature, at least for myself, you start to realize that your art, as an artist, you want to make money with your art, and you want to do it in a way that is respectful. So there's always ups and downs, unless you start out as a Disney kid, or you start out when you're like, 10 or 11 years old, and you make that 10-year journey of becoming like a household name. Like, it's a difficult challenge. But to be a working actor, once you're in it, and if you're good enough, like, you can be a working actor, which is what I am. But through the maturity of it, I learned that it's all storytelling. So whether I'm in front of the camera or whether I'm behind the camera, I'm still passionate about both. And I love the producing. I'm more the creative producer, where I'm doing the creative development of the story, working with the writers or writing myself, and so that's more of my. I know the business. I do the business side as well, because I had to learn to do it. Or I was going to fail. I was going to fail at my career. But I have a good team around me with my manager and agents, and I always kind of put people in place that have the value where I need it. That is maybe where it's not my strong suit. But if they said you can only pick one and you're going to make millions of dollars, and it would just be the acting, because I get to learn about different characters, different people. I get to use references from different people and experiences that I've had in my life to bring those characters to life. Now, if it was saying, okay, you're just going to go and play yourself like a Will Smith. Will Smith is kind of stretched a little bit, but if you're going to just go play yourself the way The Rock does, and you're just going to play yourself, yeah, sure, I would do it because it'd be a nice paycheck. However, creatively, it's not really that fulfilling because you just played the same thing over and over and over and over again. And it's just kind of like, at that point, people are just going to see you be yourself. You're not really inspiring or bringing to life characters that are going through something in life. You know, for me, like everything I do or try to do has to have heart. You know, someone said, what's the key to a good movie? And I say heart, because that means so many things to me, I think maybe to other people, because if it has heart, then it touches the person's soul. Like when we walk out of a movie, like you want to feel something. And today there's so much content that makes people not feel anything because they're scared to like let people feel for certain reasons, because they don't want to offend anyone, I guess. But it's okay to feel awkward watching a movie if the character is in an awkward situation. Like that's the whole point, is to make people feel uncomfortable or awkward because of and if that's the case, then that actor is doing his job of what that character should be doing. Like if you see a rape scene, like that's supposed to be uncomfortable. Like there's nothing fun or cool about that, doing that scene. But you know, if it's okay to do it, if that's what the story and content calls for. So that's me. I have to just, you know, someone asked me what was the perfect movie in my opinion, and I say Gladiator.
A great one. That's a really absolutely.
Yeah, if you think of Gladiator, it's a love story, it's a revenge story, it's a redemption story. It has some comedy, it has some drama, it has some action. Like everything, it touches on pretty much every emotion in that movie.
Yep.
Speaking of drama, action, and comedy, I will ask a question for all you Star Wars geeks right now. in the entire series of Star Wars movies, how many times do they actually say the word the light side or light?
I know this.
The light side?
Not
because they allude to it a million times. The dark side, the dark side. One would assume then there is actually a light side.
Two things, Sean. We prefer the term enthusiast, not geek. Just like you know, and
exactly.
I know. Luke says something about the light in Return of the Jedi, or Revenge of the Jedi, as Armando would call it.
Because I can bring you back to the light.
Yes, there's not. Yes, thank you, Devin. My guy, God, there's many moments I wish I had you in the past. Talking to these guys.
We can exchange digits after the show.
And in one of the last ones, I think Leia said, "I know there's still light in him." She was talking about Adam Driver's character.
Yeah.
At the point. That's the only two that I really know of, and I'm not a Star Wars enthusiast, as you are. But that's the only two that I actually know. We're gonna have to do some research on that. Maybe Chat GPT knows.
And you know who the best character is in Star Wars?
Who is the best character?
Palpatine.
Oh.
The ultimate manipulator.
Palpatine. Yes.
Without Palpatine.
Yeah, I got to agree with you on that. Can I say something to that? Sorry, this is
a little
bit about what I love about Palpatine was, you know, like, and the difficulty I had with like some of the newer films, the Disney branded Star Wars stuff, was that, and I did like Kylo Ren and I like Adam Driver as an actor, so that I'm not including him, but I just felt like there were no significant villains, and although it was cool, they brought back the Emperor to some degree. I don't know, but it was like, all right, you guys, I got to dig a little deeper. Give me a new villain. Return of the Jedi, him being like just darker than Vader. Just he had this true evil heart that you weren't gonna do anything. That was it. He was just pure evil, and I was terrified of him as a kid. You know, even though he didn't action-wise, he didn't do a whole lot, but it was still like, man, it was. They made him a very dark character, and that's, you know.
I mean, without him in the prequels,
Yeah, and that was even. Well, there's a part of me that wonders if I would have loved to have seen the prequels without knowing about 4, 5, and 6. No, sorry, I know we're going over a little bit here.
Okay, so I'm just gonna ask separately. Jimmy, you go first. Kylo Ren or Darth Vader?
Darth Vader.
Eric, Kylo Ren or Darth Vader?
Vader.
Not Vader.
Yeah.
All right, then there we go. Sorry, Adam. You might have been a good Marine, brother, but you're not a super villain.
Kylo Ren is awesome, but he's no Darth Vader.
Great job.
I'll say this about Star Wars. It's the only franchise that has been able to capitalize on characters that you see once.
Yep.
True.
Yeah. I mean, Boba Fett is one of the biggest characters. You barely see him.
Yep, I was just going to say that.
One of the little droids, the trash can droid, I forget what they call him. I mean, he's a huge collector item because, and you see him just like waddle a couple times and squeak some noises in like a junk and like I don't know somewhere. But it's like that's the thing. Like that's the beautiful thing about Star Wars is like the little Boba. Have you seen the latest Mando?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. I have. Well, no.
Yeah, the little Boba Fett that where the Grogu's trying to hug him. Like
hilarious.
Will have their own figure, and everyone's going to try to get those figures because they're. And now I hate the Borks. The Borks are stupid.
Yeah, wasn't into it. Devin, you.
All right, we got to call. All right, we got to wrap.
All right,
wrap already. Oh man,
we got a union over there. We got to go.
We could have made this a double LP, gentlemen. We could have made it a double LP.
That's right.
Nah.
Devin, we'll be in touch, man. Because I'm a.
We can mute Eric, right?
Yeah, right. I'm a collector myself. I'm a film enthusiast. It's okay. A small stint of acting school, but Jimmy and I are musicians, and music was what I knew I could do, and I gravitated to. You know.
No, music. I love
good
it.
at it, Eric.
Yeah. Well, where's there, Eric? Where are you based at?
Chicago, Illinois.
Oh, okay. James, what about you?
Chicago.
Same.
Chicago. Congratulations on the new mayor.
Yes.
We'll see.
Well,
I don't know if it's going to make a difference, but I don't know.
Probably
Cool beans.
not.
Well, hey, Devin, thanks really so much for your time
Thank you
coming
so
on tonight.
much.
We know time is precious, so we really appreciate you.
No, I appreciate you guys, man. Let's do this again.
Absolutely.
I'd love to have you back on.
Just so I know, where's this? Is this live or pre-recorded, and you guys put it up somewhere?
It's live.
We
Right?
are
It's
live.
It'll be on YouTube.
Oh, it's live.
I
Oh,
will
okay.
send you the copy of the link once we once it
Okay, yeah,
broadcasts
do it,
for
and I'll
replay.
share it on my social medias and put it out there and tell people to follow it. So,
Yeah, that'd
Thank
be
you.
great.
I really
Much
appreciate it.
Devin.
We
I
appreciate
appreciate you guys, and Lucas and Sean. We'll talk later on this week.
you. Bet.
Absolutely.
Thank
Looking
you.
forward to it, sir. Enjoy your evening.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Cheers. All right.
All right.
Star Warsy. Pretty
Oof.
Star Warsy.
Oh boy,
Yeah.
Dicey.
you had to ask.
I know. I had to poke that
get
bear,
Eric going.
man. I love it. Right
Eric
on, guys.
showed us his
Appreciate
own
it.
face.
Ooh.
That was
Right,
awesome.
midnight
That
oil
was,
here.
yeah, he had a cool collection.
Oh, yeah, nice
Neat-
long show
neat
today,
dude
huh?
to talk to.
I
Yeah.
know. Are we on commercial? Or
An hour and 26 so far, says what I got.
Don't worry.
And we're still.
I'm actually hungry.
No, we're not on commercial.
oh, we're not.
No, we're
okay.
not.
Armando
I thought
was
you
about
did.
to take his shirt off, get the glitter out.
I was like, I'm not going to the bathroom now. All right, Warriors. Well, thank you so much for sticking on with us through this Star Wars episode. Really appreciate you. Can't wait to see you guys on week 64. To the billions and millions and trillions watching us. Thank you again for spending these hours with us. We really appreciate it. And we'll see you next week. Peace.
Go check out TADRUS Capital and Innovate Productions.
Innovate Productions.
Are we out or are we still on?
Eric's still on.
Introducing the Cool Wallet Pro, an enhanced hardware wallet the size of your credit card. It packs the most sophisticated cold storage technology inside, giving you full control of your digital assets whenever, wherever you need it. Cool Wallet Pro connects offline to only your mobile device within a 10-meter distance and requires you to physically confirm every transaction on your Cool Wallet Pro after checking transaction details for optimal security. Cool Wallet Pro is designed for the professional crypto user who needs more than just superior security in a hardware wallet. You can plug in directly to the world of DeFi, DEXs, and other dApps, allowing you to earn easy passive income from staking and DeFi on the best crypto blockchains. Through our extensive marketplace, you can trade, sell, and buy directly from trusted third parties, all within the Cool Wallet app, while staying anonymous, retaining data privacy, and avoiding trust risks. With Cool Wallet Pro, the key to your future is in your hands.